everyone, welcome to this video. As many of you know, I watch the technology scene quite intensively and I try to relate it back to customer experience, and we're approaching the end of 2018 and what I've did, I looked back to all my weeklies and I looked for 8 news items, 8 tech announcements that I thought were really relevant to predict what the future of customer experience would be. So I hope you're gonna like this one. First tech announcement or my observation in 2018 is that we're moving into a new field of competition, and what is typically about this new field of competition is the arrival of ecosystems. And I think if you look at the retail world, this is probably the best place to observe that. Back in 2017, Amazon acquired Whole Foods, we all remember that, and that was like a big shakeup to the retail industry. And if you look at what the impact was in 2018, you know, many of the more traditional retailers, and especially food retailers in the US, they started to partner up more intensively with Instacart, and Instacart is like a front-end food e-commerce engine that allows stores to, you know, facilitate the delivery of food to their customers. So that speeded up, but at the same time you also saw that Google really wanted to fight against Amazon's imperium, so Google partnered up with for instance, Walmart, to make sure that Walmart can order through voice through Google Home. You see that Walmart invested in Flipkart in India. You see that Kroger in the US is partnering up with Alibaba. You see that Amazon in Europe is working together with Monoprix. JD is partnering up with Carrefour. Google is also partnering up with Carrefour. So you see how this is like a very intense ecosystem where enemies from the past seem to be working together. Friends become closer friends. And at the end of the day, what is happening to the customer is that the overall services, the overall convenience level that big retail brands want to offer to their customers is increasing. And I think they realize that they cannot do it all by themselves. You see the same evolution in the car industry, where companies like Nissan and Renault, they announced that they would work together with Google because they want to speed up, you know, the connected car services, and the car is becoming a platform. You see how Alexa is becoming a platform where other brands and other companies want to take advantage of their installed base. So I see the rise of ecosystems, and I truly believe that if you want to win the business of customers in the future, in 2019 and beyond, that it will be extremely hard to do it on your own. I think that all industries will evolve to more intense ecosystems with frenemies, so friends and enemies blending into each other, friends becoming closer friends, and so on. Because on your own, it's really hard to deliver up to all the expectations customers have. Second observation that I had is that prediction is becoming very, very cheap. More and more we saw how smart companies started to predict customer behavior or the mood customers are in. There were some funny examples like Uber that now has an AI installed in its app to alert the Uber driver that the passenger may be drunk. They can see that based on how you use your screen and how you walk or try to walk to the pickup place, so they can warn their drivers. Google has now an AI that can predict overweight in certain areas, depending on how a city was constructed. So you feel how prediction is becoming part of our day-to-day reality. And I think one of the consequences of this is that we're going to have a world of predictive commerce. Today we have e-commerce, maybe we already have automated commerce with those voice assistants that are facilitating the purchase of goods without touching a button. But we're approaching the part where we're going to have predictive commerce, where companies like Amazon are very capable to predict what you need, where maybe my printer here next to me will predict when I will need more cartridges, when my laundry machine will predict when I need washing soap and detergent. There are tools like, I recently met this company called Hopper in Canada. They basically predict what the best moment is to buy a ticket from an airline. They follow the algorithms and the price curves of airline tickets so they can predict this is the right moment for you to buy a ticket. And we're going to have many tools that will start to do this, that will start to predict the best moment to buy something, or that will predict when I actually need something. So I think in the future we're going to end up in a world of predictive commerce. Number 3. One of the big areas where we saw a lot of progress this year is the store without a checkout. And already back in December 2016, Amazon announced the Amazon Go concept, and we're all familiar with it. You walk in, you scan your app, you grab from the shelves what you need, and you walk out. And basically what Amazon tried to do is they tried to remove the part where a customer can have frictions during the shopping procedure. The waiting in line, the hustling with products, and the pain. If you take that out, shopping becomes more convenient. And this is something that Amazon Go promised us to do back in 2016. Well, now at the end of 2018, you see how this is becoming a reality, as Amazon is rolling out these stores like crazy now in the US, and they're opening them up in San Francisco and in New York. They announced a few weeks ago that they will probably roll out 3,000 of those Amazon Go stores in the next few years. You see the same evolution in China. JD copied basically the concept of Amazon Go, but they're doing it the Chinese way. So they announced in the beginning of 2018 that they would open up hundreds of those stores in China. In May 2018 they said, what were we thinking? Hundreds, that's ridiculous. We're going to speed it up. So in May they announced that they would open up 1,000 of those stores every single day. So imagine if they will roll this out, both of them, Amazon and JD, in the next few years, and there are a whole bunch of startups that are offering the same kind of technology then to other retailers. I think this is going to change a lot. Probably it won't change the big grocery experience that fast. I think this is really something for the more convenient stores, the small stores, maybe stores where you go in and you grab something to eat and drink, and where you maybe take 1 or 2 or 3 items, not 50 items. But this will change that retail experience completely, and in 2018 everything we need to roll that out is installed now. So I guess 2019, 2021, this is going to have a rapid rollout and will change the way that we do convenient shopping forever. Of course, when we talk about 2018 and the overview is this year, I need to talk about driverless cars. We've been talking about this for years now, but 2018 was the year when we actually had the first real life experiment with driverless cars. It was with Waymo from Google. Earlier this year in Arizona, they started with a test where users can just order a taxi, and then, you know, it's a driverless vehicle that picks them up. It's not the kind of test where there's still a human driver. This is a completely autonomous vehicle. So Waymo is probably doing the best job here. Why? Probably because they just have the most data. If you look at how long Google's been experimenting with this, it is just crazy. If you think about it, the hours and hours and hours that car has driven, the amount of miles that a driverless car has driven, it is at this moment the most experienced driver on the planet. There is not a human that spent more time driving around than those driverless cars of Google altogether. So that amount of data is now going exponentially, and because of that, probably we're going to see a lot of that in 2019. And I think this could have, not next year, but in the years after that, a big impact on some of the day-to-day services that we have already. Think about e-commerce. If I buy a lot online, to be honest, and sometimes 5 or 6 things a day on different sites, and the truth is then that here in our house, you know, we don't get one package with all those goods in it. We have 6 times a package being delivered. So that is not convenient for me, it's not convenient for the delivery services, it's not good for the environment, and so on. But imagine that driverless cars could become some sort of a networked team of delivery services. Wouldn't it be great that we figure out a way how to use that automation combined with the data that is available in the market to make sure that if I order 7 items that need to be delivered on the same day, that I don't have 7 people here at my front door, but that there's 1 parcel being delivered, and maybe by an autonomous vehicle. Think about the long-term consequences of autonomous vehicles. Of course, it is fantastic that we will have less people getting injured and less people passing away because of car accidents. There's still way too many people that die every year in a car accident. So that will be probably the biggest advantage of it. There's one downside to it. This will sound a little bit creepy, but I think it's reality. In the long run, the disadvantage is that we probably won't have enough organs if you have less car accidents. So this is something to consider, that the moment that we have driverless cars, we will have to figure out a way to make sure that we figure out another way to have enough organs, and maybe by then grow the organs ourselves to make sure that we have enough people that we can rescue on that side of the curve as well. So, but 2018 was the year that driverless vehicles became a reality. Tesla announced a few weeks ago that now you can do the Michael Knight thing. With Knight Rider, you just say, hey car, Tesla, I need to come, you need to come and pick me up. I mean, that is just fantastic, and it happened in 2018, my friends. The battle, the most interesting battle to follow, is the battle between the US and China over the leadership in a world of artificial intelligence. Back in 2016, Google won from the world champion Go with their DeepMind computer. We were all very excited. If you look at that with the glasses on from the West, it's really, really cool. But look at it from a Chinese point of view. I mean, in China, Go is as popular as American football is in the US. So this would be like a Chinese team, an unknown team of Chinese people participating in American football and winning the Super Bowl. Imagine how the US population would react to that. Well, that's basically what happened when Google won from the world champion Go. So this was a wake-up call like crazy for China. And they started to invest like crazy in artificial intelligence, because both US and China believe that the leader in the future, the leader of the world, will be the leader in artificial intelligence. And you see what's happening now. I was in China in May, and we went to the China Artificial Intelligence Town. This is a state-of-the-art facility. It is huge, and they've built it in just 12 months' time. And for us, this was like, wow, these guys are serious about it. Every company that we went to in China is investing a lot of money and a lot of talent into AI. But you see the same thing happening in the US. Just a few weeks ago, MIT, the big tech university in Boston, announced that they're going to open up a specific AI campus, and they raised $1 billion to start that campus. Can you imagine that? So what we're going to see in the next few years is just that battle between US and China in the field of AI heating up. It's going to be very exciting to see who will win that one. But for us, customers, this will mean that in 1 or 2 or 3 years from now, AI applications will be part of almost every service that we have, almost every product that we buy. It will mainly be invisible, it will be inside of the products or the services, but it will speed up things, it will personalize things, it will make it more convenient to use. And I think this will only speed up in the next few years because of this big battle that is taking place between those two giant countries. In 2018, it became clear that the car is a new battlefield from different perspectives. General Motors announced that they were listening into how people use the entertainment system in their cars. They weren't listening to conversations of people, they were listening on how people use the car entertainment system, what kind of music they listen to, what they do with the volume, how they use other services. You could wonder, why do they need this? Well, if you know that the car is one of the 3 key data sources in the world, we have the mobile phone, we have our car, we have our house. And the car is one of those 3, so if you want to understand that, you need data. And data is the key ingredient to take it to the next level. For instance, if we'll all have driverless cars in the future, and then at a certain moment, the car becomes an entertainment platform, it's also an advertisement platform. And to really go into advertisement in a private vehicle like a car, it needs to be personalized advertisement, otherwise it doesn't make sense. But to go into that field of personalized advertisement, of course you need to understand behavior. So that's why General Motors is doing this. That is why we're also seeing this eager from companies like Amazon and Google to partner up with car manufacturers to get access to that data, knowing that the car will be one of those crucial data platforms in the world. And it's sad for TomTom. They lost a number of contracts recently to Google. Companies like Volvo and Nissan and Mitsubishi and Renault decided to stop working with TomTom, and they're going together with Google to speed up their connected car services. And this is only the beginning. And other companies like Mercedes are saying, well, we're not going to do that. We're not going to work together with those companies. We're going to do it ourselves because we want to have direct access to that data. So I think in 2019, 2020, what we're going to see is a whole new car experience where the car is evolving rapidly into a entertainment system, personalized data, personalized advertising platform. And this will go really, really fast in the next few years now. What I started to see is the integration of services and the integration of interfaces. One of the cool examples is the experiment that Snapchat has done this year with, together with Amazon. So you now can use the Snapchat camera, you look at a certain product, imagine this Lego robot, you scan it, and then instantly you can see where and how you can buy it on Amazon. And this is not new because the Amazon app also has a scanner like this. I think it's really powerful that you just open your Amazon app, you scan a Lego set or a Lego box, and they say, here it is, this is how much you can pay for it. And you know, we had WeChat in China, which is probably the biggest integrated app in the world, where it's like the operating system of China. Basically everyone is doing everything on WeChat. In the West, we're not that far yet, but you see the same evolution of integration of interfaces, where you have just a small group of tools that you use in a day-to-day way that allow you to do more and more and more. And of course, this is what Amazon and Google want to do. They want to drag you into their ecosystem and they want to keep you there because that creates all the benefits for them. And they are like magnets for users, so they are best placed to create those integrated interfaces. But it's interesting, for instance, like I think in the next few years, what we're going to see is for us customers that companies like financial service companies that have mobile apps to do mobile payments, I think we're going to have more and more services in our mobile banking app that maybe go beyond banking. Part of that integration of interfaces. And the first screen, the home screen of our mobile phone will be more than ever our access to the world to basically do everything we need to do in our day-to-day life. And we don't need those 400 other apps anymore. Last one is maybe a crazy one. I think in Q4 2018, Jeff Bezos announced a whole bunch of new Amazon Echo products, and one was a microwave. And many people were saying, are they completely crazy? Why would Amazon have to create a microwave that is Alexa powered? Of course, it is not the goal of Amazon to start selling microwaves with Alexa in it. It's the goal of Amazon to make sure that every possible device is using the Alexa platform. And they made this microwave to demonstrate the power of that and what you can do if your microwave is voice enabled and has smart AI behind it. This was an example. For me, this was a symbol that shows the future. That pretty soon, if you buy something, it will be voice enabled and it will either be with Amazon's or Google's ecosystem behind it. And you know, I have two children, they're 7 and 9, two boys. For them, voice is the most convenient interface in the world. They're used to talking to Siri and Google and Alexa. They even get frustrated that the TV doesn't talk back. When they say TV, turn up the volume, and the TV doesn't do anything, they think it's like an old school device. So voice is becoming natural very, very fast, and I think that microwave that Jeff Bezos showed us is just a symbol to demonstrate that on how important voice will become in the user interface in the next few years. So 8 observations of 2018, of which I think they will have a big impact on the customer experience in 2019. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and see you again in one of the next videos. Bye bye, and thank you very much for watching.